I love Sichuan food, but I've never really explored much food-wise outside of Chengdu itself. So in the next week, I'm going to be going food adventuring in some of the smaller cities around Chengdu that are all famous for amazing food specialties. And yes, I will eventually explain why I'm trying to light this noodle on fire.
So first stop on this adventure is of course Leshan, which I have actually been to about 10 years ago. I saw the big Buddha there, but one thing I really didn't do is try any of the local food specialties, which is definitely a decision I've come to regret because everyone is always telling me what a food paradise Leshan is.
As I'm about to experience for myself today.
Like, is this the best duck I've ever had? Maybe.
Strap yourselves in because this is about to be one hell of a food adventure.
I'm currently at Chengdu railway station. I'm about to get on a train to Leshan and yeah, it's nice and early at 7 a.m. so we're really gonna hit the ground running today. First stop is gonna be breakfast.
Okay, so we've arrived in Leshan and on the menu this morning is tofu brains. And I've heard Leshan style tofu brains is very unique. It involves slicing pieces of this super soft tofu into this pot of starchy soup. It's topped with this very red and I expect very spicy sauce as well as beef too. For my tofu brains today, I've come to this famous local establishment called xxxx Tofu now.
Loving this outdoor food setup under the trees, by the street. My gosh, this looks so good.
And it's not just tofu brains they sell here.
是烧麦对吧? Check out these 烧麦. They look so good.
They also had these delicious looking meat sandwiches. So long story short, I ended up getting one of everything.
All I can say is good thing I'm hungry. I seem to have ordered half the menu. I wasn't planning on doing all that, but I just saw everyone eating these delicious things. I came here for the tofu brains, but I think I'm leaving here with a lot more. The first thing that has arrived on my table, it arrived within 10 seconds of me ordering it, and I'm gonna get into it right away because it is steaming hot. It is these 烧麦.
It's filled with pork and spring onion and served with chili sauce.
Oh. So messy.
Excuse me one mere moment.
Wow. So that is one big 烧麦. Very big mouthful. Also like really generous in the filling in that 烧麦. Like it's bursting with stuff inside.
At that moment, the rest of my dishes arrived. And I mean, wow, what a spread.
These tofu brains are bright red. It's got a lot of spicy sauce on the top there. Also meat. And I have to really think, have I had tofu brains with meat in it before? I don't actually think so. But yeah, they said that Leshan style tofu now would be different. And it definitely looks different. It looks actually quite watery. Oh, there's noodles in it as well. So you've got a little bit of tofu on top. That looks very, oh wow, look at this. It's like quite starchy actually. I think this is gonna be a bit of a texture explosion. I also wonder if it's gonna be as spicy as it looks. I wanna get a spoonful with a bit of tofu, a peanut, a bit of noodle if possible, and then just... Oh wow. So first impressions, it's nowhere near as spicy as it looks. It's salty. I really like the saltiness that's coming from that meat. The tofu is very soft. The tofu as well as the noodles, as well as that starchiness. So it's like, yeah, it's like a nice bowl of mush. I have to say the most surprising thing about this dish is finding noodles inside. I've had lots of different types of tofu brains before, but never any with noodles inside. Is this tofu brains? Is it a bowl of noodles? Is it both? Yes, it is. For those who can't decide what they want to eat for breakfast in the morning, I'd choose this. One thing I really love about like the northern style of tofu brains is you always have it with like a youtiao or something to like soak up some of that juice. So I don't know if Leshan people will do this, but what I really want to do is take one of these 烧麦 and dip it. I don't know if this is what locals do, probably not, but I feel like I just want to dip something in this just for like, for principle. Oh, that's cool. Because I feel like those 烧麦 are quite heavy in terms of flavor. It's like meaty and oniony, but this really gives it a lot of freshness with that chili, a bit of coriander in there. You've got lots of like, I don't know what this is, but it's like crunchy stalks of some kind of like a really thin celery or something, but it gives it like an extra crunch and zap. This is really good. I'm here in Leshan for 2 days, so I can safely say I will be coming back tomorrow to eat this for breakfast. Well, that brings me to the last thing on my table I've yet to eat, which is this karbing. It looks really good, kind of like a 肉夹馍 kind of Chinese style hamburger. but inside it is beef.
Steamed beef to be exact. It's then mixed with onion, coriander, chili, herbs and spices, and finally stuffed into this bun.
The bread itself is more on the soft side, it's not super crispy or anything.
And that's because the bread itself is also steamed.
Oh, I mean, I really like those tofu brains, but I think I like this even more. It's so fresh and zappy. That meat is really soft, easy to bite through, the same as that bread. But thanks to the coriander, and it must be other herbs and spices in this because it's really like zingy. It's kind of like Southeast Asia meets taco. It's really, really good. Super, super good actually. No, tomorrow I'll be coming back and just getting 3 of these. This is, yeah.
And while we're here, may as well give it a dip too.
Not as good. Works better with the xiaomai. Hello and welcome to lunch. I was just musing a second ago how interesting it is to see the culinary landscape change so dramatically as I travel through this country. I mean, when you're in Changsha, for example, every second store is a stinky tofu store, and it seems that here in Leshan, every second store is occupied by something called Tempia, which is literally translated as sweet-skinned duck. I mean, check this out. This place, it sells Tempia. This place also sells Tempia. If we go a little bit along here, this one with the red sign, that also sells it. And along here, this one with the really, really long queue, that also sells Tempia, and that seems to be the mothership. This has the longest line I've seen of any other Tempia stores, so you betcha that's the one I'm gonna be lining up in. I have been in this line already for about half an hour. I still have quite some time to go. And I think the reason why this line is moving so slowly is people are buying obscene amounts of this duck. I don't know what they're doing with all this duck. Look at this guy here. What is he doing with all this duck?
I am so confused.
我想问一下，你买了这么多鸭子干嘛？
分给同事。
Oh.
过来玩，然后顺便分给他们。
Okay, okay. There's actually a lady here doing a pretty thriving business, packing up this duck to, I guess, send home to wherever they've come from. Guys, it's been an hour and a half wait here. I am almost at the front of the queue, and I know exactly what I want. Tempia.
And it looks absolutely delicious. And thanks to its huge demand here, fresh ducks are constantly being brought out. It's cut up into slices and then drizzled with this sweet sauce. Unlike many of the others in front of me, I only ordered myself half a duck, which ended up costing me 35 renminbi. That's about $5 US.
Okie dokie, I have my duck. That's the longest line I think I have ever actually waited in for food. That was crazy, but I have my duck and I'm excited to see what all the fuss is about. And talking of lining up, guess what these guys are all lining up for? They're lining up for bingfen. Oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever lined up for a bingfen. And I think that time might start just after I eat this tempia. So I have found a place here on the side of the street to eat my tempia. It seems to be not like a restaurant thing, more of like a takeout thing, like find somewhere to eat it yourself. So I'm having a little street side picnic here. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I mean, you guys know how much of a fan I am of, you know, roast duck and goose. I think I'm gonna go in for a drumstick. Let's try. Oh wow. Leshan, I love you. I love you. I've been here, what, like 3 hours? I love you already so much. It's so good. It's amazing, especially the skin. It's got like this sugary glaze on the outside that's slightly crunchy as well. It like crunches as I put it in my mouth and I bite down on it. Releases this amazing sweetness, which contrasts so well with like that slight oiliness and greasiness of the duck flesh. You know, if you've had a roast duck before, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is, yeah, okay. I'm happy I waited.
But before I go any further, I will put on some gloves because this is one sticky duck.
And I think it really bodes well for this duck that the drumstick was as moist as it was, because sometimes when it comes to getting a roast duck, I would avoid getting the drumstick because it's usually the driest place on the duck. I would go for, you know, a nice squidgy bit of breast meat, but the drumstick was already really nice, so I'm excited to see how this tastes. So tender, like my teeth just glide through it, like look at this. No resistance. It's so damn tender. Like, you can't fake that. Not even special effects could fake that kind of effect. Just look at this. Just pull it apart with your fingers. What the F? Like, is this the best duck I've ever had? Maybe. When it comes to roast duck, I usually have 2 main criteria. Moistness of flesh and crispiness of skin. this has both plus more. It's not just moist flesh, it's flavorful flesh. It's not just crispy skin, it's sweet, flavorful skin that really adds to the whole experience. I mean, oh, just look at this. What the F? Wow. Well, I am officially in my lineup in every line in Leshan era. Let's get this bingfen.
I opted for their bestseller, which is jelly topped with fruits, nuts, lao zao, which is fermented glutinous rice, as well as a brown sugar syrup unlike any I've ever seen before. I mean, look how thick and light in color it is.
Whoa. I mean, whoa. I don't even know how many times I've said whoa so far in today's episode. Oh wow, oh wow, wow. Look at this bingfen. It's massive. It was 10 renminbi. I think what I'm most curious about this bingfen is the sauce she put on top. She told me it was hongtang, which is the same sauce you see on your regular bingfen, but it looks completely different. Let me mix this first, because I like to mix my bingfens. Really good, well-balanced bingfen. The jelly is the perfect consistency. The fruit isn't soggy, it's like fresh and crunchy. The sauce is really great. It tastes like a hongtang syrup that you would usually have, but somehow like a bit more oomphy. And I'm just seeing on the restaurant sign here, it says this place actually opened in 1997. So that's only like 3 or 4 years older than I am. But for some reason, it's kind of hard to conceptualize myself as a 4-year-old. At that time, people out in the world eating bingfen. Hard to imagine that I just didn't know about it for so much of my life. But you know, now that we're together, we will never be apart. Although I do have to say, Sichuan style bingfen always wins.
Excuse me? I think you're so beautiful. Can I take a picture with you?
Yeah, sure, okay. That's nice, oh, that's nice.
Here. Say hello.
Okay.
Say hello.
Hello.
我们站起来吧，对着我站这里，对着哥哥。
这里，耶。
Okay, love you.
Oh wow, love you too. Wow, okay. That's the confidence boost I needed.
So I'm gonna polish off possibly what is my favorite meal of 2023 thus far. Join me in a couple of hours for dinner.
Hello and welcome to dinner. Yes, it is still daylight. It is currently 4:53. The reason I'm here so early is because this place behind me has like a billion reviews online and it always has a queue. So I thought, let's come early to get our hands on some boboji. It's one of the most famous dishes you can find here in Leshan. If every second store is a Tempia store, every other store is a boboji store. There are stores selling this everywhere. This place is massive. Check out how many people. 谢谢. So just taking a few moments to just like center myself. A little overwhelmed. There's so many people in here, so many tables. This place is massive. And yeah, I'm also not too familiar with what I'm about to be eating. So it seems to be various varieties of foods on sticks. And it seems to be served in like a pot. And there are 4 different flavors that pot can be, that sauce that the sticks are dipped in can be, with differing levels of spice and numbness. So this one seems to be their most popular, and it says that it's like a little bit spicy. This one is a little bit more on the numbing side. This one is extra spicy, and this one is not spicy. So for whatever your preference, there's something for everyone here. And it seems to be going at around 0.8 renminbi per stick. So with that being said, let's go choose some sticks. I'm table 17. That seems to be important information to let her know. So let's remember that. 17.
啥口味的
2个口味可以吗？我要那个红油的，还有那个第2个选择是那个啊，对，这个好吃吗？也是吗？可以。OK。然后随便选对吧？对，随便。好，谢谢。Okay, so it seems I can choose 2 flavors. I'm guessing the red one is for my hongyo. Now time to choose what sticks I want. Okay, so I'm back on my table. I've chosen my ingredients and I'm very, very happy because I was actually able to choose 2 different flavors. I could have chosen 4 if I wanted, but the ones that definitely catch my attention the most. Ooh, 做好了吗已经？哇，好快！谢谢。Whoa. I didn't expect it would be so quick. I literally sat down like 2 seconds ago. And actually, as I picked this up, one thing I noticed is this is actually cold. I thought this would be hot. That's very interesting. 是凉的，是对吗？
是的，
应该是凉的。
对，是凉的。
OK， 他们没有做错了，对吧？OK，
都是凉的。
都是凉的。
对。
有调料吗？还是直接吃
直接吃就可以。
？OK，
它这个本来就有味道。
OK， 谢谢，我第一次。OK. It's meant to be cold, guys, and there's no dipping sauce as well. That was another question I wanted to ask. Okay, I'm gonna try this one first. This the more numbing one. Oh, yum! It's so refreshing, especially with that sauce. It's like a peppercorn-based sauce. Oh, quite numbing actually. Let's try this one. And that's really good too. Very different. This one's more salty, very sesame. You can see just how many sesame seeds are floating on top there. And it's got like a nice smokiness from that chili oil as well, but not overwhelmingly spicy. I'd say that this one is more numbing in like sensation than this is spicy. Both really good. I think I'm just gonna go from one to the other, This is great. I feel like Leshan really provides. What you need, Leshan will provide for you. Walking in these doors, I didn't feel like a big meal. I'm really full from the foods I've already eaten today. But this is exactly what I felt like. It's light, it's refreshing. It's kind of like a Leshan salad, and it's a great thing for you to eat if you're maybe dining alone, because you can choose exactly what it is that you want. You're not at risk of overeating. I mean, if I want to eat more, I can go and get more. This is great. I think I actually will go and get more. It's so refreshing and tasty, and I've chosen mostly vegetables, so it's a bit more lighter on the stomach. It's perfect. So I've just come out of the restaurant where I've just eaten my boboji, and it's right on the water, and I was like, this scenery looks really familiar, and that's because I think up there, just up there a little bit, is the Big Buddha. So I think I'm gonna go on foot to see if I can get a view of it from across the river. What a great way to end out our day here in Leshan with the Big Buddha and not having to pay an entry fee.
But after a few hundred meters, it became clear that this road wouldn't continue straight ahead.
We're at the corner, we're at the furthest possible distance we can come, and it's still out of sight. I can see a hand and a foot of the Buddha, but I just won't be able to see the full thing. Oh man, that was a strategic decision of them, however long ago that was built, to not let people, you have to get a boat to see it. But this friendly guy over here, thank you, Sisia, he just told me that if you keep going up this path, there's a thing you can go down and then up and to the side, and from there, you can see it. So that's what we're gonna do. This is the furthest possible point out.
Hello.
Hello.
刚才在一起吃饭的，
哦，是吗？
你坐在边上，
你在那个钵钵鸡的地方是吧？
对，
觉得怎么样？好吃吗？
很好吃。
我也觉得。Okay, I came out to the rock. Let's see. This is the best view you can get of the Big Buddha without a ticket. How about that, guys? We can see most of its face, a hand, and a leg. Nice. Well, I didn't expect to see any of the Big Buddha, let alone half of it, so I'm already very, very happy with that. And how amazing is this here? I think I'm going to take off my shoes and go for a little dip in the water here. It looks very, very inviting. Anyway, this has been an amazing day in Leshan. I can't remember such an incredible day of eating in a really long time. Leshan definitely lived up to its expectation. I hope this video encourages anyone who may be watching this. If you do come to Leshan, don't just stop at the Big Buddha, explore the cuisine, because trust me, it is worth it. If you've liked this video, please subscribe, please give me a like so that more people can see this video, and leave a comment if you are so inclined. Let me know what your favorite dish of today was and what you want to eat the most. But don't worry, there is more Leshan food adventures coming next week. I will be continuing on this Leshan food journey. Next week we're going to be discovering some street food, so stay tuned. I'm going to get in this water because it's getting hotter and hotter in the afternoon sun, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.